I thought I will make this fairly short video on my new Gardena irrigation system. As you can see, it starts with the splitter, which allows me to connect the garden hose for watering grass, as well as the timer for the micro drip system that I bought from Gardena. This timer is quite good because it allows setting different length of watering, as well as how many times a day it should be watered, as you can see here, for which day of the week it should be watered, and it also shows you can set the time when it should start, and it shows how soon the watering should begin. Later on, I also purchased the humidity sensor, which you dig into the ground, and it checks the humidity of the ground, of course. This allows me to save some money on those days when there was a lot of rain. Hence the system doesn't switch on, and that's a very useful feature. I advise you to buy one whenever you buy the micro drip system. Okay, and then there is half-inch connection, not very professional maybe, which then goes to the pressure regulator. Pressure regulator is very simple gadget which has here access to the filter. You can easily remove it, clean it on the mains, water from mains, and then install it back. Then I also installed for future purpose this system allowing adding fertilizer. It's similar idea, so you pour a fertilizer here and it is dispensed together with water via micro drip system. Then you connect the tubing. I invested in the half-inch or 13mm tubing, which allows greater lengths to be used. And then I also invested into this micro drip system that cleans itself, so I don't have to do it regularly. It's easy to make. You just poke a hole in it with the special tool that Gardena provides. You can probably make it with anything else, with something else, and then you push these drippers with hands into the tubing. This is not the easiest way or the easiest system. Probably it could have been improved, especially that if you want to insert it properly, it starts leaking here. But you can attach one of these drippers next to each of your plants, like I have here and there, and it's as simple as that. Then the tubing itself, it's kept in the ground with this kind of pins, or another one that I'll show you in a moment. I'm not sure how clearly it's seen, but there is this second type of holders that you can easily remove. Okay, they look like so. They're quite good. They're much cheaper than this type, and I think they are more practical for during the mowing, lawn mowing, because they are smaller and they are closer to the ground, so you can push them closer to the ground, so catching them with the lawnmower is a little bit more difficult. Then there is a whole set of different adapters, extensions, angles, like this one here, which allows connecting with 90 degrees angle to different pieces of tubing. It's very simple. You just push it on. There is this small clip here. Let me try showing you. This one here, which holds the tubing in place, there are small teeth on the edge of it, so if you pull with this clip open like that, they won't allow you to remove the tubing. If you press it against the extension or the adapter, you will be able to remove it. This is quite handy. Then you have this triple connector that allows you to make an extension from the main line and water some plants in certain different rows. At the end of each line you will have this plug that stops water from coming out through this opened end. I don't have it here somewhere where you can easily see it, but there is another connector that looks like this one here without this extension, which allows you to connect different sets of tubing. Tubing comes in different lengths. I buy 50 meters pieces, but you can also buy smaller, like 30 meters or even smaller, I think, or shorter. But for my garden I needed the longest one. In fact, I had to connect 3 or 4 of them already. By the way, sorry for the noise in the background. There is a lot of works going on at the moment. Usually it's not as bad as this. Okay, so as I mentioned before, I'm using this humidity sensor that saves quite a lot of money and water, thanks to the fact that the sensor that is dug into the ground about 20 centimeters detects how humid is the water and then gives the signal to the timer should the water start or not, or should be delayed. On top of the sensor you can regulate how damp or dry should be the dirt before the watering starts by just dialing this knob. You can use a coin or you can use your fingers to do it, and then you've got 2 LEDs that show the status of the ground, and the button that when engaged shows if the ground is damp or dry. At the moment it's damp, so the micro drip system should not start the watering, but in about 7 hours it may get drier, and then the system will know that the watering should start. It also has this battery status LED, which indicates that the equipment is powered with batteries. In fact, this is the only thing that I would complain, because the batteries used here are R14 rounds, which are not anymore so popular. I would expect 9-volt batteries or simple AA, even 4 AA batteries, but okay, I can live with that as well. Now I picked the Gardena system because the brand is quite reliable, and what I've noticed, the whole system is easy to use. It's like Lego bricks, just connecting, and it has a lot of different extensions. It has different sensors. You can develop it later on into quite comprehensive system. What I would advise you to do is to use the system the timer that has 2 extensions, allowing you to set 2 different lines with 2 different timings, 2 different frequencies of watering. I invested in this smaller one. Now if I had to do it again, I would probably go for the bigger one. Gardena has plenty of different types of systems for different types of gardens, more expensive with that would allow you to operate the system with your smartphone and application on it, but for me this is sufficient at the moment. Okay, should you have any more questions about it, please do ask in comment section. I'm planning to get some cheaper type of irrigation system to compare it to this Gardena one. and to discover its disadvantages most likely, but maybe it will surprise me and show some advantages as well. Okay, thank you for watching and have a great day.